In the age of unprecedented AI hype, it feels like everywhere you turn, someone is talking about AI. AI in products, AI in services, AI in daily life, it's truly everywhere. But let's step into a different view. Let's take a quick tour of our AI kitchen. Here, the key ingredient for any AI recipe is data. Just like a great meal depends on fresh, high-quality ingredients, an AI solution depends on AI-ready data. Unfortunately, today, most of the data we've used, nearly 20%, comes neatly packaged from structured ERP systems. But what about the rest? Almost 80% of the ingredients, the rich flavors of unstructured data like emails, PDFs, videos, sensor feeds, are still sitting untapped, never tasted, waiting to be brought into our AI meals. To truly unlock the full essence of AI, we must prepare and use the entire pantry, not just the easy ingredients, but everything our data kitchen has to offer. For the true essence of AI to be realized, for AI to truly deliver its full flavor, we must build critical capabilities in our AI kitchen. Just like any great meal needs the right setup, our AI journey needs a strong foundation. We start with scalable infrastructure, the kitchen platform that can handle diverse and large volumes of data efficiently. Next is data quality, like washing and prepping fresh vegetables, ensuring that our data is clean, reliable, and ready for use. Then comes interoperability, just like chefs collaborating, different systems and teams must work together seamlessly. And standing tall as the biggest pole in the tent, the one holding it all together, is data modeling. Because without the right context around our ingredients, structured or unstructured, even the best AI models fall short. Yes, I'm talking about data modeling, the often overlooked, but essential ingredient that makes the AI meal complete. And today, we'll show you how we're reimagining it to unlock the full pantry of AI-ready data. The traditional data modeling capabilities are not enough for today's AI kitchen. We have to reimagine something beyond, and that is Genpact's DataVerse. DataVerse automates data modeling workflows in an agentic way. Yes, an autonomous unit that crunches all kinds of data, structured and unstructured, and helps build intelligent, AI-ready data models seamlessly.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Sunil, here with my colleague Mansi. From last night, I'm quite unwell. So in the morning, I was not sure whether I can have this session. Then my manager, Sogata here, give me the Chuck the India speech, and I'm in front of you. I'm not sure how much I can deliver, but I will try my best. So I hope you enjoyed all our AI kitchen tour. And it's time to reimagine most of our real life practices in this agentic world. We will not be surprised for next DE summit, the corporates will send their agents as the representation. So things are changing disruptively. And today we are going to have the agentic AI tour, basically what we have done, what we have reimagined. We have reimagined the most foundational data management practice today. And Mansi will have that whole presentation, what we have done so far. For years, the AI was a buzzword, but in last few months, thanks to the explosion of these AI tools like ChatGPT, AI has truly democratized.
So let's begin by understanding what are the problems with traditional data modeling and the decline that it's been facing in recent years. Data modeling, as we all know, is interdisciplinary. It involves multiple teams like business analysts, data modelers, source SMEs, domain experts, and they all speak in different languages. To harmonize these multiple perspectives and create a common ground for understanding is a major challenge. Then there is the heavy reliance on expert skill sets like data modeling, domain expertise, which are hard to come by, and this leads to delay in the data modeling process. Then added to this, there is the manual relay of requirement gathering, emails flying back and forth, recurring team meetings, and tribal knowledge thrown in here and there. This makes the data modeling process inefficient and error prone. All of these factors lead to slowing down of the data modeling process and put project timelines at risk. With DataVerse, which is our agentic AI powered data modeling accelerator, we are bringing about a shift. As you can see on the right hand side, DataVerse reimagines the entire data modeling process through specialized AI agents. For example, the business analyst agent who analyzes the BRD and gathers requirements. The data modeling agent is equipped with the data modeling best practices and rules. And then there is the domain expertise agent who adds industry context to the model. So this process simulates the real world collaboration between teams, and also it bridges the skill gap and through the leveraging the power of LLMs. So DataVerse not only speeds up data modeling, but it also makes it scalable, AI ready, future proof, and inclusive of both structured and unstructured data. Next, what I'll do is I'll walk you through the DataVerse architecture. So this is the architecture of the DataVerse, and I'll start at the top left hand corner. So it all begins with the business requirements. The data modeler logs into the system and interacts with the conversational Streamlit UI. Now there are a couple of ways in which he can input the requirements. The first one is by the pre-configured selections that we already have on the UI, and the second is by uploading a BRD or a metadata document. Next, the business case is created and the inputs are logged in the backend for auditability and long-term memory. The backend storage that we are leveraging is Azure Blob Storage and PostgreSQL. Agent Ops is being used for agent monitoring and Key Data Vault for secure data handling. Now we come to the heart of the system, which is the master orchestrator agent. This agent coordinates the working of multiple downstream agents who all have their distinct roles to play. The master orchestrator also decomposes the goal and plans and executes the workflow based on the nature of the input. Here comes the decision point, which is whether the input is a BRD or a metadata document, in which case the workflow branches out towards either the business analyst agent or the source SME agent. So the business analyst agent processes the flow and gathers requirements, and the source SME agent inspects the metadata along with the data files from either SharePoint or direct database connectivity. These agents perform tasks like entity extraction, relationship mapping, parsing business rules, and identifying constraints. The output of this agent is then sent to the domain knowledge agent for enrichment with industry contexts like manufacturing, healthcare, insurance. He is equipped with the Genpact's domain knowledge repository in the backend. The enriched output is then sent to the data modeling agent for creation of the data model by applying best practices like naming convention, normalization, cardinality, etc. The data model is then reviewed by the model review agent who validates it against the data model scorecard, which is a rule of repository for measuring the accuracy, readability, completeness, and other factors of the data model. The output is then rendered on the Streamlit UI for visualization and is also available for reverse engineering into popular data modeling tools. Finally, the data modeler can review and refine the output from the Streamlit UI and send it back for improvement in case of any changes. What makes this architecture special is the multi-agent design, where each agent has its own role to play, like the BA or the source SME agent, and they can work autonomously but are orchestrated via the master orchestrator agent. That's all from the architecture perspective. I'll take you all to the real demo now. So this demo is still in the nascent stage. We're still in the process of completing the application. It's in the very initial versions. So this is the landing page, the Streamlit conversational UI. And here we are asked for basic information like the client name, the data modeler's name, and the business analyst's name. Here comes the more information about the client's context. So for example, what industry type, the domain that we are modeling for, the subdomain, this information. So here I am going to demo it for the accounts payable subdomain within the core accounting domain. Once we press confirm for these inputs here, then we get a list of business roles that this is an exhaustive list of business roles for the accounts payable domain. Why this is important is because the stakeholders are the ones who are the consumers of the data and they have certain data aspirations. So the model has to be such that it meets all these data aspirations of the various stakeholders. Then this is an exhaustive list of business use cases. The data modeler can select the ones which are relevant for their particular customer engagement. And similarly, there is a list of pain points which the data modeler can select based on the requirements. Now once we click save here, what it does in the backend is that the business analyst agent is kicked in once the business case is created, and the business analyst analyzes the requirements, extracts the entities, the relationships, the business constraints, and the business rules. So these are the tasks that the business analyst agent performs, and once the entities are generated with the definitions, they are vetted by the domain knowledge agent once the business analyst agent shares the output with the domain knowledge agent. This takes some time to return because the query actually goes to the LLM and that's when it is returned. Normally if we were to do this, it would take a while, so I think a few minutes we can spare for the business analyst agent. So you can see here, there are the list of entities and relationships with the cardinality which have been outputted by the BA agent, and the business rules and the constraints for the accounts payable domain. Now next, we'll create the business process flow. Now what is a business process flow? It's actually the flow of that particular business and all the actors who are involved in that process and the steps that they all take within that process. So what it does, it gives us a clear view of how that process is operating within that business. We create the CDM. Now here what happens in the backend is that the data modeling agent has kicked in and he has received the inputs from the BA agent, and he is going to apply the best practices which have already been fed to him in the backend through PostgreSQL, and the data model for the accounts payable domain is what the data modeling agent is going to create. So as you can see, it also generates a nice summary of the conceptual data model with the entities, their definitions, the relationships and the cardinalities as well. The diagram also appears for visualization. Also we can edit it in draw.io here, which is a free data modeling tool where the diagram can be edited. So as you can see, it's generated the invoice line vendor and all such other entities that it has identified along with the relationships. Now we can go ahead and create the LDM. So in the LDM also what happens is, again the LDM creation of the logical data modeling rules have been fed in the backend through PostgreSQL, and those are the rules that the data modeling agent is going to use and create the LDM from the conceptual data model. What it does is it adds the attributes based on the conceptual data model. Now I'll take you back to the flow where we can do this whole exercise by uploading a BRD. So that is where the unstructured part of the document comes in. Unstructured part of DataVerse is what comes in. So this was when we were doing the structured inputs. Now we are going to do it through a BRD. So this is a BRD that we have for the retail industry, and it is a point of sales accounts, point of sales subdomain. Once we confirm, then we can go down here and upload the BRD. Once we save it, again the business analyst agent kicks in, who is going to analyze the BRD. In this case, the BRD is about a 10 or 12 page BRD, which gets broken into chunks and is embedded, and then based on the prompts, the BA agent is going to generate the entities and relationships from the BRD. Apologies for the internet also, it's a little slow here. Yeah, it has come back with the business rules, the constraints from the BRD. And the rest of the flow remains the same. The business process flow is created, and so is the conceptual model based on the BRD. So that's it from DataVerse. I'll leave it open to any questions.